Hello. Oops. Sorry for the background noise. Now there's a coffee machine and a washing machine going on. It's not the perfect office, but that's what we have to deal with. Um, it's time to play PLO, and we're going to play PLO 20 on Micro Gaming Network as usual. So nothing has really changed. And you might see that I'm back at 24H poker. There was a nice reload bonus. And with the poker logo, there's a really nice feature of having that the monthly bonus, which makes 20% extra rank map. The thing is that I don't have time to grind for that. The minimum is 200 or 250 if I remember right. So I don't have the luxury of playing that much hands or that many hands. So then there's no reason to play at poker logo. So I changed back to 24H bet. So let's see how it goes. It's the same pool, same opponents. We can see Jausa on every table almost. And let's see, there are a couple of tables open, so let's see if we can get good ones. And if not, then we might change it back to PLO 10 or even to PLO 50 if we are having a hot streak. Table 1, different open from the button. Table 2, oh, there's 3-bet. Flatting this 3-bet is not an option in my mind. The hand plays really poorly post flop. We are going to create a nasty situation, so let's just get the money in when we can. This guy's 3-bet range is more than aces, and if he has aces, we'll flip him. The thing is that if Jausa comes along, then he has the best equity. Once he folds, this is so much plus EV, so now it's just getting in. Queen 7-3. He has under half of what, so I don't know what he's thinking. Of course, if he has any piece, yes, he has queens and some things, and now he has a lot of outs, but he didn't hit any of those. 36% on the flop, so we win the first flip. Yay! Nice start. On table 3, complete. Double suited, some kind of wrap. So we can easily call as we close the action. If we didn't close the action, then it would suck more. And Ihan makes a mean donk and calls a raise. I don't think he has queen then, unless it's a queen then with not flush draw or something. So I'm just going to pot here. Seems that he's not a really good player, so he might definitely overcome with flush draws, sets, and so on. Table 1, open double suited kings and hit only a cut shot. And when someone bets, he has ace wide often-ish, or he can bluff on this board. But the problem is that if we call the 5 is the only turn, then we can keep calling, or hard if he bets small. Just flies all over. So if we call here, we have to fold so many turns that it's quite common mistake to call here and then just fold the turn out of position. So I give up on the flop. There's some kind of flying animal. Ugh. Not sure what it is. As usual, we have both chats open. Oops, was supposed to raise here. My mouse didn't work. As usual, we have the Twitch chat open, we have the PokeriMania's chat open. So you can use either one. AA or AA, close the flop. We could barrel and try to make him fold some kind of draws. But if he has ace, he's not folding. If he doesn't have ace, we have decent equity. So I'm going to check back here. We have the cut shot too. Now the flush complete, so if he bets, I'm giving up. Yeah, and he had a flush and a cut shot. So we had 68% on the turn, and we check back. We don't invest too much to the pot. So feel free to use the chats. When you comment the hands, please use table numbers 1, 2 on the top, 3, 4 on the bottom. We have a couple of minutes of delay. Here is a hand. I'm actually going to value bet this turn. In case he has two pairs or some kind of straight draw that he doesn't want to give up. And now we just have to bet if he has some kind of made hand he likes or he doesn't have. And he has a set of fives. So the value bet worked perfectly. And we got his stack. Yay. Yes, now I remember a hand actually. Too bad he didn't reload. And table 1 we have double paired hand. Decent one actually. Different open. Oh, he folds a lot. So let's open. Haven't figured out how to get 2.5 big blinds opens pre-flop on the micro gaming, but he folds a lot pre-flop, and now when he closes the flop, I'm quite sure he has something. And he doesn't like to fold that much on turns and rivers, so I'm just giving up. We might hit the deuce or ace, pick up the pot. And demo 1, we hit the top set and the middle set, and some kind of 57-41 calls the flop, and 10 of spades completes just everything. It completes straight draws, it completes flush draws, so here I'm just checking and seeing if the river pairs the board, and it does. And we have the nuts. He actually pots, which is quite nice. Best he can have, I don't know what he can have because we have everything, but I'm thinking for some and just show, he might have a straight flush. That would be nice. But he doesn't. But I don't know, if I raise any amount, he's going to call, if he calls my shove, he's going to call any raise. So we don't achieve anything by making smaller raise than getting him all in. And we have a pretty nice start. Let's see how it ends. We are going to play 1.5 hours, so we're going to stop at 11 p.m. Finnish time. Tomorrow we have a playoff game in my American football team. It's a really nice playoff game. We have a rematch of last year's 2 days short of 1 year ago. We had the same situation against the same team and we lost. So now we have a redemption time. And we have waited for this to happen for a whole year. I'm here always bluffing. What a nickname. Bets a pot. And seems to me that it actually might be some kind of some kind of slow play on the flop with a nice hand. Because he's not afraid of deuce or something. I don't know why he's potting. So I'm not calling. It would be interesting to see if this actually can be a pure bluff with that bet sizing. On table 3, sorry, we hit the trips on the flop, we hit the full house on the third, and Rouhani calls the flop, and he probably doesn't have a king. So probably we are only going to get value from aces and pocket nines. But I'm betting quite smallish in case he has queens, jacks type of hands that he likes to bluff catch. Of course, the only hand we lose to is king 9, which he might have, but he has a lot of other hands like pocket nines. A lot of players just call 3 streets. So I'm going to now the river you cannot have other than full houses or aces. So I'm just betting for value. And table 1, and we hit the bottom 2 and cut shot, which is not to the nuts. There's a flush draw. I'm just going to fold when he pots, but always bluffing. Often when people select the nickname like always bluffing, it actually means that they are not bluffing that much most of the time. Let's see if he calls. But oh, he shoves. That is such a strange line. Would he check the turn with king high flush? And he folds. Wow. I have no idea what they had. Why did he bet fold and why did he check turn and shove river? Strange guy. Table 3, we have the top set, but we're blocking one of our own outs. So I'm not going crazy. Now we pretty much have the nuts, and if I check, he's going to check behind if he has straight or flush draw. And we don't achieve much, so I'm much rather don't here and represent a bit more of a bluff. That's why out of position sucks. If you hit your hand, it's still hard to get value. And on table 1, I'm going to complete 4-way, and we have to pay 40 cents in the pot of 190. And Jack 10-9 has decent-ish, not potential. And on table 2, looks like a pretty tight player. 3 bets, calling station calls. I'm going to call here. And Jack 5, I'm going to stack off against him. But if a hand comes along, then oh, my lucky chip dropped. If a hand comes along, then it's kind of a nasty situation. And now he checks, and now a hand pots the turn. I'm just going to get away. Here we have a jack high, so I'm going to bet and make him fold his small pocket pairs and ace high, king high hands. And it worked. Now my lucky chip is on the floor. Good thing that I have another one. Good old Nevada Jack chips. Ace Jack Jack King, we might 3-bet, but I'm going to call and get these guys alone. It's when you have a pocket pair, it kind of reduces the playability in 3-bet pots, but this hand has a ton of nut value. And now someone donks for half a pot. Let's call and see how the hand develops. Now we pick up the cut shot, and I'm happy to see river. And 8 is pretty nice. If someone bets, I'm definitely going to call here. And now it's check. And we split the pot with ace king. And I have no idea what this guy did. It's like 32-19, 6 looks like sort of decent-ish regular. But he actually, I'm going to show you in a while. He actually donks on ace 8-5 rainbow with 10-9-6-4, so he has only a cut shot and some backdoor flush draws. In a three-way pot on ace high board, when he's not pre-flop opener, why would he don't have a pot? I don't know what he's trying to achieve, but it's just an, I don't know why did he don't. If he has some kind of game plan for it or what. Here we have a pocket queens, king 6, 3 spades. I'm actually going to fold this 3-bet. Yes, it's, if we fold too much, it's exploitable, but I'm going to fold these crappy hands. I'm going to miss the flop so often. And if the board is some kind of 9-7-3 type of board when I have overpair, it's really hard to play. So I'm just going to give up. If it was double suited or the 6 is at least even 9 or higher, then I would call, but when we have just super dry pocket queens, I'm not going to call even the 3-bet. And no one can exploit us. Like if we fold 10% to 3-bets and we call 90% when we open, then no one can exploit us. Like, are they going to widen their 3-betting range? Most people don't even know what their 3-betting range is. It's just carpe diem kind of 3-betting. They live in the moment. They like the hand. They like how the stars are aligned, so they 3-bet. And next time with the exactly same hand, they might just call. And on table 4 we defend. And we hit the open ender and bottom pair. Let's go once and see what happens. And we hit the nuts, which is nice. And he bets biggish. When the board is rainbow, I'm actually going to call. And the idea is that if the board doesn't pair, he might barrel the river. And it's a blank. So now I don't think he often thinks we have a straight. So we might get a call. Like if he has a set or ace queen, we might get a call here. So, because it looks a bit like a bluff. And if he has air, if we raise the turn, he's just going to fold him. And table 4 is looks to be dead, so I'm going to open another one. Let's change it. There are just regulars, so I'm going to sit out on table 4. Yeah, let's play from the small blind and then button and cut off. Two pairs, we hit the middle set. Let's raise it up. And on table 2 we hit the set. I'm going to bet here. Because if someone raises, then they probably have a queen jack most of the time, so we can. If Kohani bets the river, I'm actually. Because he goes the flop, might have a set. So he needs to have a set and a backdoor flush. So if he has a small played straight, he's not going to bet the river. So I'm going to make a hero call here. And he did have a set and a flush draw, which is the one hand that plays in that way. But 36-14, definitely capable of bluffing the river. But sometimes people get quite lucky and hit the backdoor flush, which is often hard to believe. Now we change that. Table 4. Korpisor is asking, did I get his investment? Yes, it's added to the thread. So it's in the bank. Table 1, bet on the flop, he calls, so now let's just check. Queen on the river is quite of it kind of improves our hand, but in a sense, only thing that it improves that now we beat pocket kings, which we also block. So no reason to value bet. And he had pocket kings, so he actually had the one hand that we just were able to beat. And the flying creature is still hunting me. Pocket queens on the big blind. Let's call. And hit top pair on over pair. And I'm going to call once. But he checks, so now I'm definitely bluffing the turn or make a protection bet. And I can easily have a flush. He also might have a flush if he checks back his flush draws, but he has a lot of hands like overpairs that he's scared of betting the flop. He might have air that he doesn't want to bluff on that board, and so on. So I'm just quite happy to bet and pick up the pot. Small is open from the button, and now we hit overpair. But it's three-way, so let's just. I'm going to call this bet. He didn't bet the flop, so this 5 doesn't often improve him. So now the question is, should we bet and make him fold his overpairs, or should we just check and go to showdown? I'm going to check. And I'm going to bluff against the river. And he had cut shot on the turn and spikes it. Oh, he had 2 pairs, so he had me beat. I'm going to bet here on table 4 because I would think that he might often have a flush draw. Or, oh, now he puts. I don't know what he's representing, but when I bet the turn, I represent the straight, and now he's not afraid of it. So I'm quite sure he has the high straight. Hot shot on table 3, hot shot on table 2. And mean bet I'm going to call that one. We almost make it. And now we have the trips. Should we raise? I'm not sure. He's a strange player, so I'm just going to call here. He has a pair of sevens. Now nothing happens. So if you have any questions about PLO, poker, whatever, there has been a big discussion about poker graphs and how reliable them are, and so on in the Finnish side. So if you have any questions about poker graphs, feel free to ask. Just use the chat. Now, Korpisori, when you comment about the hands, please say what table number it is, because we have the 2-minute delay. So it might be that I don't remember exactly, so we can find it from the hand history. Bet turn river with queen 9-6. Now I just can't remember what was the exact situation. But let's see if I can find it in. Let me see if I can even find my own. Hearts and results and it was queen 9-6. There it is. The board is Jack 9-4 with the flush draw, and it's three-way pot. The problem in donking the turn is ES5 is blank, but one of the problems is that when we bet, we shouldn't have a lot of 14 equity, because it's really hard for two players to totally miss Jack 9-4-5 kind of board with the flush draw. So we don't have 14 equity. So once we bet, we have to play the river, and on the river, unless the board pairs, then it completes one draw. And when I hate that flying creature. And when we are out of position, then if we bet the turn, we cannot represent much on the river, and if the river wasn't pair, then we really can't bet against one or against two players. So what happens, we bet on the turn, often get one or two calls, and then on the river we are a bit lost what to do. Should we check call and so on? So I much rather keep the pot small and then play the river. And now when nothing's foul bets, then we still get one bet in, but against a lot wider range. $4. The thing is that if our flush draw is alive, then we can call. but as there's one player behind us, we kind of concentrate. If we go and he shoves, then we sort of have the equity if the flush draw is alive, and often if the flush draw is dominated, then we are drawing pretty thin. So if we bet the flop there, then we can bet the river, but then the problem is that we are betting blind. And when we bet the turn and bet the river, often if opponent has any piece of the board, he's going to call. And board pairs a bit above 30% of the time, so at least 75% of the times, 3 or 4 times, the board doesn't pair and one kind of draw completes and we are out of position. So it's going to be really nasty to play on the river. And strange thing that he didn't see bet the flop, but we have the nuts, so now on the river on table 3, if we check, he's going to check behind pretty much everything unless he has ace-6 or ace-king 2. So I'm just going to bet big-ish to get a call from ace, or he shouldn't have pocket kings, but who knows, and he calls. And what did he have? He had ace queen jack 10, so he actually flopped the top pair and a wrap, and he doesn't see bet, which is really strange. And once again, his stats are sort of solid, 28-18. So often even solid preflop stats doesn't mean that the player is good. And the other way around. On number 1, I called the flop, and now he bets the turn, which is looking kind of strong. Might be aces, who knows? Ace queen or any ace. So I'm just going to fold here. Of course, he might be barreling with just air and making me fold in my queen high hands, pocket kings. I'm actually going to raise here because he's shorty. Almost missed it. That's the kind of mistakes that when you are having a coaching and you have to concentrate on the chats and trying to make it a bit, at least a bit entertaining and so on. These are the kind of mistakes that you're doing, or I am doing on the coachings, missing the stack size that I'm not doing if I'm playing without streaming. So often people just wonder, what do you mean that you cannot play your best game while streaming? And that's the reason, those really small steps. And we actually hit here the one queen that is on the deck. And someone donks. Let's make a small raise. And then the flush completes. Wow. That looks like a flush to me a lot. So now it becomes mathematical. And we have 9 outs, 10 outs, 9 outs, which is 20%. So to call 7.6, we need to win a pot of around 40 euros or something. And after the call, the pot would be 24, so we need 15, which we wouldn't have. We have only 7 euros behind after this call. So we just cannot call with these stack sizes. So we have to fold. The thing is that he's donking such a lot, 36% of the hands, so my raising range is definitely a lot of hands that has the nut flush draw in it. So if he makes that line without the nut flush, then he is going to, or it's going to backfire him. And if he makes it with the nut flush draw, then we just have to thank him for letting us know that he has the flush. So we don't have to invest any money to the pot. On table 2 with overpair, standard half a pot raise, half a pot bet. And then we just kind of take the hand to showdown. And he has pocket eights. Nice player. And we hit the middle set against the guy who checked a really strong hand earlier. Actually should have bet here. He c-bets with such a low frequency. I'm going to raise, and if he shoves, I'm actually going to fold. Because his c-bets is so small. And earlier he did check with a, in my mind, with a pretty damn strong hand. So he might have a pocket kings here. He's just waiting to see the safe turn. But he also might have aces, ace king, king jack 10, king queen jack type of hands. But he folds. Korpisoturi, now when you're talking about straight blockers and PLO 20, they don't mix alone. The problem in making blocker bets in PLO 20 is that most people don't think about my hand. They think about their own hand. And that's, blocker bets don't work when people call two streets with two pairs when there's straight on the board, or on the flushing boards they call three streets with the set or two pairs and so on. So blocker bets don't really work these low stakes. And the problem is that if we value bet on the turn and bluff on the river with overpair, the bluff doesn't work. Because no better hands will fold. That's the problem there with pocket queens. If we had air, then I think bet turn, bet river might be better. But when we actually have a showdown value hand, that's when the river becomes problematic. Because if we bet value on the turn, meaning that opponent doesn't have two pairs on the turn or better, or overpair, and on the river we want to bluff, what are we bluffing against? If opponent calls the turn and his hand improves on the river, he's not folding at these stakes. So we cannot bluff the river. No better hands will fold and no worse hands will call. So it's kind of a situation that when we bet the river, our bet doesn't achieve much. So always when you bet, you have to know if it's bluff or value, and if it's a bluff, what hands opponent is going to fold, and if it's a value, can we beat over 50% of our opponent calling range? Not total range, but calling range. And with pocket queens there, even when we have a blockers, the blockers don't mean shit in PLO 20. I'm going to call on table 2, and if he checks the turn, I'm going to bet. But he's pretty aggressive, so I'm not sure if he's going to follow barrel with air. And he bet such a small that I'm going to make 860 raise. We have a blocker to the jack, so what he might have is some kind of trip 6. And he calls, which kind of sucks. But he needs to fold 1/3 of his range on the turn. And now flush completes, so if he has shows me some kind of pocket kings, then it's just, I don't know if it's even well played or just pure stubbornness. But there's no reason to bet the river. And he had a trip 6, so of course he's not folding. So he has the piece of the range that we cannot make fold, but he's just an aggressive guy that with that bet sizing, I think he has bluffs in his range. And we have their queens. We have some straight blockers, but if opponent make any straight on the river, they are going to call. So yes, we have blockers to not straight, but they can have a lot of other straights. And we just cannot make people fold any straight on the river. And I know that news can make a lot of barreling bluffs, but you have to understand that the stakes that news is playing is quite different than PLO 20. I'm concerned with check here, because I'm pretty sure that if he has a queen jack, he's not folding the river. And if he doesn't, if he has just a queen, oh, he had a pair and a wrap, he can bluff the river. Because we still beat a lot of his calling ranges. So the thing is that if we had just air and we want to barrel the turn, then we kind of have to bluff the river. Because it's the only way to win the pot. Here we have top 2 and a flush draw, and now the flush comp is there are 2 callers, so it's quite probable that either one of them has a flush draw on the flop. And we have 8 high flush, so if they bet any decent sized bet, then we just have to fold. But 180, we're definitely calling. And we make 3 pairs and a flush, and yet a 10 high flush. The worst hand that can beat us. It's a shitstorm. Bottom straight here. Top 2, I'm just potting, it's a 4-way pot and no one bet the flop, so just get the max value here. And on table 3, I am actually going to barrel the turn, because in this calling range he has a lot more than flush draws. He might have straight draws, some over pairs, and I'm going to make him fold a lot of those, but once he calls, I'm quite sure he has a trips or better. And he has the nut flush, which obviously we are not going to make him fold. On table 1, let's turn the overpair into a bluff. And let's barrel the turn. On table 4, we can get the money in with aces. Now we actually make 2 pairs, which makes the river a bit interesting. Of course, 3 completes all the 5-7 type of hands. But I would be quite sure that if he has 2 pairs, he's going to check back. Oh dear, he had overpair. And he calls the raise on the flop with pocket jacks. That is, in my mind, it's really bad call. Of course, now when we had just a bluff, but the thing is that if the turn isn't to jack or deuce, he has to fold. So he's investing money into the pot with 4 outs that he can continue. And even a deuce is not a clean out for him, so it was really bad call. Now he got lucky and hit one of the 4 outs, which is a bit annoying often. Crash Bites is asking, how are the players compared to PokerStars? Well, at micros, most of the players have a lot of leads, and there's some recreationals like Ahan 89 and 9, super good customers, and then there are regulars. And if we compare like PLO 20 and PLO 25 of PokerStars, then at microclaiming in PLO 20, we have seen these regulars, not to me, regular, really bad call to my raise. Why are you crying? Regular, checking back with super strong hands on the flop. And even these regulars make a lot of mistakes. So at PokerStars, the best regulars, like the 10 best regulars in the stakes at PokerStars, they are a lot more better. Here we make a small c-bet. Really hard for him to raise here with total bluff, and we know he's a bit passive. So we generate the same folding equity with smaller investment. So the problem in PokerStars is that there are, let's say, a dozen good regulars. And if you're having session and 3 of those good regulars are playing a session at the same time, they are sitting in like 16 or 12 tables. So they are taking up pretty much 3 seats on every table you want to play. So there's only 2 seats left for the good customers. And when you compare to microgaming, you don't have problem. There aren't any players in microgaming that I wouldn't like to play with. But at PokerStars, there are some players that I don't really like to play. And we hit the board, and he shoves, so we get it in, and we make the straight, and win the small pot. So the average level of opponent is a bit worse, but the main thing is there aren't that many good regulars that take up the seats from the worst players. But of course, at microclaiming, the problem is table selection. There aren't that many tables open, so you have to play what you have. And we have the set and the cut shot, so I'm not going to fold here. We have that 30% equity we need, and he might have some other hand than straight. Not sure how possible that is. He should have 5 duos, and he does, and we don't improve. And we had only 23% because he's blocking with aces and threes. He's blocking a lot of our outs. But we want pots on the other tables. And what did Kyyberi Killer had on the flop? Ace, king, 3. He had an ace and a wrap, and didn't want to raise there. If Happy Sunday shoves, I'm going to fold he's 35 and 9, so he's a bit tight player. So then he probably has a quite strong hand. And thanks for Torpisoturi to pop in and give opinions. Nice question about the line on the turn and river. And we get 3-bet from Henry, second 3-bet from him. If we had ace, queen, jack, I might actually 4-bet, but we don't have a history, so 4-betting with just the jacks, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to call here. And we are lucky today. The set, of course, we are probably not making profit at the moment because despite a good start. And here I'm just going to shove. And let's see if he has like aces with the flush draw or some kind of wrap or something. He didn't have anything. And on level 3, Why Are You Crying doesn't make c-bets as often as normal players. So once he c-bets the flop, I'm actually concerned that he might have ace. But now we make the nuts, so I'm just going to put it, because if he has an ace, he's going to call, and if he doesn't, he's going to fold. And he's not going to bluff the river. River aggression 0. And level 1, 9, the turn 8 of hearts is bad. It doesn't complete the flush, but it completes everything else, so I'm just going to check that. There aren't that many safe turns, so it turn have to be 9 or 6 to make me happy. So if he bets the river, I'm just giving up. And he has second nut flush. And level 4, I think it's a standard c-bet fold. I'm actually going to barrel the turn. And river is nice for me. Now we beat some random 2 pairs. And he has just an... Oh, he made the wrap on the turn, so of course he's calling. What did he have on the flop? Jack 6, 7, and he has just a flush draw. Wow. I'm going to mark him as a green one. So when people call flop c-bets with just a king high flush draw, then I know they don't really care about probabilities or equities. And now we pick up some smaller pots on almost every table. And we still have half an hour to go. Four out of 4, so. Oh, trying to get 50 cents, but can't. And now we just turn bet river. Wow. That doesn't make sense, and it was such a click. So I'm going to re-raise him. And he folds. It's just when he makes a quick check on the flop and quick raise on the turn, then it looks like he made up his mind on the flop that I'm going to check and raise if he bets turn. If he actually had a nut flush, which he is representing, then he would think a bit more on the flop that should I check back, and if once I bet he would think a bit longer, should I raise now or just call? And it doesn't make sense. If he slow plays on the flop, why wouldn't he slow play on the turn in position? So his line, especially with that timing, doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's why I'm re-raising him, and I don't have to make a big raise. We get a nice odds for the bluff. On the outside table, we are playing with this "Why are you crying?" and I just call him pre-flop. And the thing is that now, if he bets this, bets this Jack 9-5 flop, as we know, he doesn't c-bet even with some of the strong hands, then I would just fold, because it means that he has hit the board quite well, and against that range we are drawing pretty thin. So every time, like here on table 3, we saw that he had top pair and a wrap on, was it some kind of ace 5 jack type of board or something. And when people start to check those strong hands, then we know that when they c-bet, their range is capped on the bottom, meaning that they have only the pretty strong hands in the range, and it becomes quite easy to play them. Here, semi-bluff on the turn, and we make the flush on the river, so easy check back. And he has a full house on the turn, so that's the problem playing out of position. Flopping the top set, turning the nut full house, and getting half a pot, 80 cents or 40 cents, what did he get in value? One bet only. On table 2, I'm trying to isolate, and we have a pretty strong hand, so if button A hand calls as suspected, then it doesn't matter that much. And we flop top 2, cut shot, 2 backdoor flush draws. So many things that we are just happy to step off here. No, after table 1, we had 3-bet from Dr. Hansen. We call and we hit top pair and backdoors and half a pot sizing. We could raise, but I don't think he's going to fold much. And with this sizing, he just gives us odds to peel the turn. And king doesn't help us, so if he shoves, we just fold. Easy game. Cool. Thank you. And table 2, we can stab the turn. No one bet the flop, so it's unlikely anyone has a king. So we have a lot of folding equity. And try aces on table 4. Once again, often these try aces are quite problematic hands for a lot of players. And my advice is either get it in pre-flop, meaning that you get SPR1 all over, or keep the pot small until you can see if you hit the board or what the situation is. But the worst thing is to 3-bet try aces and create SPR4 and then be totally lost on the flop and overplay or fold too much or do a lot of bad decisions on the flop in either way. On table 3 we defend the button, and we flop the nut flush, which is nice. And when opponent checks, he kind of... the problem is that on this 7-7-3 board, once he checks, it just makes it really hard for him to win the pot when he's facing an opponent who can bluff. Because I can bet my whole range, and he's going to check fold a lot, he's going to check call with his overpair type of hands that can stand the barrels. And on rare occasions he might check raise me or check call with the trips operator. But often if he has a trips, then he would see bet. So that is another one quite common problem that I have seen against, or not against, with the beginning players and players who are struggling to get a nice win rate at the micros. So often people are wondering, why cannot I win? And then they want to have a private coaching. And one of the problems is that they don't think about the consequences of their actions. Like there, if he has pocket kings, he's going to check call because he's ahead of my range and he has a strong hand. So he check calls, which kind of makes sense if you don't think about turn and river. But once you start to think that, how does my decision affect the turn situation? And you can see what the consequences are of your actions, then you can start to see that actually you might be making a lot of bad decisions, you just don't know it yet. So often when we are wondering what we want to do on the flop, we have to be like chess players and think ahead. How does my decision affect the turn and rivers? And here we have ace king jack deuce. Oh, I'm going to 3-bet him. One spin. Nice hand in position. And when you're facing these aggressive players, you have two options. One is fight fire with fire, push your small equity edge or range edge, as I like to speak, or be passive and trap them. But with range edge, I mean that with the hand I had, a lot of the things I'm going to flop are quite strong. Top two pairs, not straight draws, not flush draws, or close to that one. And when he has like 30% range, when he's going to flop two pairs, flush draws, straight draws, they are often something else than those really nutty ones. Bottom two pairs, 10 high flush draws, most straight draws, and so on. So with the range edge, I mean, here actually I'm going to 4-bet kings, one of the rare occasions. Jausa opens, well, he might have aces, then it kind of sucks. But button is a shorty with active stats. He's going to definitely 3-bet here a lot. So where did the playbook go? So I'm happy to stack off with kings, and this time he had the aces, so it kind of sucks. But queen 2-2 board I would have stacked off anyway on the flop. So this time he happened to had the aces, so we ran into the portion of his range that actually beats us. Eihan, when he triple bets, he has the flush for sure, and we don't beat any of his flushes, so I'm going to force the river. He's just a predictable player. He doesn't bluff rivers. He makes small bets with weak hands, but once he barrels the river, I'm quite sure he has a high flush. And where when we 4-bet kings and getting in, and he had aces, if you start to think that, oh man, why did I shove? Of course he has aces, he 3-bet. Then you are results oriented. You have to make a decision before you see his cards and define him a range. And if against that range the 4-bet is profitable, then it was a good decision, and it doesn't matter if he had aces this time or not. And number one, the hand is so poor that I'm happy to see the free flop. And we make the trips, nice. And let's try to extract something. And bet the turn. And we have the straight, bet the river. No action. On the outside table, we are 3-way pot and we have 3 pairs. And now Pokemon bets. With 3 pairs, we have 6 outs. But once he calls, now it's kind of close, because now we have around almost 15% equity. It's like 1 out of 7 or something. So to call 340, we would need to win 25 or so. So it's going to be 15. So we need $10. Could we get it? Thing is that when he calls, he often has a set 2 pairs, so he's blocking our out. So we just kind of call. Bummer. Well, why did we sit out? We would have completed and would have hit nice. Results oriented. I'm not going to even think about 3-betting this shorty with this kind of hand. A strange thing, why are you crying raises here? So they both have the straight. Wow. So why are you crying is actually capable of slow playing a lot. At table 2, I'm going to check the flop to deny this jack bubbler of raising me on the flop. I'm definitely not going to fold on any turn. Now on the turn I'm going to bet. If he raises, I'm going to call for sure. But the idea in checking back these really dry flops is to deny him from check raising. And that takes away a lot from his bluffing chances. Because if we think about the leverage that his bluff has on the flop, if he check raises the flop, then he's kind of putting a pressure on me that he might bet turn and river. So if I call the flop raise, I'm facing turn bet and even bigger river bet. So the bluff has a lot of leverage. But if I check the flop, now he check raises the turn, then his bluff doesn't have that much leverage, because now he's risking only 1 bet more. So it's easier for me to call the turn raise than the flop raise. And that makes it harder for him to bluff me. So that's why I check the flop. Hence this aggressive player. It's not that I would be worried about something or scared. It's just that I'm denying him from doing what he likes to do, and which makes me a really hard time, because if I check call the flop, I'm kind of, his range is still the same, but it's a bit harder for me to call if he wants to second barrel the turn. Of course, we know that he's going to check raise the flop and barrel turn and probably barrel river with air. Then we can bet the flop with aces for value. But without that information, I like to keep the pot a bit smaller. And here I'm just going to 3-bet big. We have position and we have hand that has nice visibility on the flop. And we hit the set nice. And Jack-7 is just a perfect board. There are so many hands that he's going to check raise me with. As a semi-flop. Oh, bummer. I don't know why Happy Sunday folded pre-flop. That's just... Oh. Or did he? Well, he shouldn't. Closing the action 3-way. Really nice position. Because they both check, they can see when I c-bet how does Pokemon react to my c-bet, and then he can make his decision. So he had actually a nice position there. Probably the best position of us all. So I have the absolute position. But when there's Pokemon Happy Sunday and me and I'm the 3-better, then Happy Sunday actually has the best position in 3-bet pots. So he shouldn't fold a lot there. But he did. The only hands that he should fold are some kind of sort of try kings and queens. But even with those on a 3-way pot, I would probably call. So easily many implied odds. And 10 more minutes. Let's see if you can summon some interesting spots still. Oh, damn, now both of my lucky chips are flying all over the floor. I have to pick one of them up. It's my precious Nevada Jacks. Kinda love them. And we have pocket kings and we get 3-bet from Why Are You Crying? Strange, he's only 3-bet that has gone to showdown is Queen Jack 9 deuce. I'm actually going to call because he's kind of player that doesn't c-bet a lot. And the thing is that I would assume that all his rundowns are Broadway rundowns. And there are some aces, so this hits his range well. We have the not straight blockers, but I don't think he's going to fold any 2 pairs, any set type of hands. And if I raise here, then some of the turns complete flush. If the turn is sort of blank and I put it, I might have some folding equity, and instead I don't have. So it's not a situation where I want to represent the not straight. So I'm just folding. In table 1, they both call. And we don't have a lot of outs. So I much rather bet here for the second barrel. 10-9 is probably hands that they might have that beats us near, or some slow play sets. Not sure if they would raise it or not. And 6 improves us, but it completes the draws from the flop, so let's see what he has. And he has what? It's one of those moments that I kind of don't know what to say. He closed the flop with H6, Ace. He doesn't have anything, not even a cut shot, not even a backdoor flush. He doesn't have anything. So yes, I understand that. I understand if he closed the flop, if he wants to float me, but floating out of position in general is really bad idea. And he doesn't bluff me. He doesn't bet or raise at any spot of the hand. So I have no idea why he calls the flop, but thank you, sir. Here on level 3, we pick up the flush draw, and if he has a queen, he's not folding. So if we want to bet, we want to make him fold aces or kings, and I don't think he's going to fold them, so it's kind of a situation where it's easy to check back and make the full house on the river. And I think that now we can value bet against ace king, king 9, over pairs. If he raises, then it's kind of sucks, and I actually think that I need to fold. Then his range is so heavy on full house with queens. Set mining on demo 1 with half a BB. Now, sorry, I have to send a text message. It's urgent. Let's see what we have. 5 minutes left, so it's almost time for the last orbits. And it was interesting to see if we make profit, because we have 200 BB stacks almost on 3 tables, but we lost some all-ins on the way. So we should be up a few dollars or a few euros, but you never know. There has been some really funny outcomes. But we have a6 versus something and set. And try aces. I'm just going to call. Let's see if we hit something that we can start to value bet or bluff catch. But they are aces, but ace 10-4 rainbow is such a crappy hand in PLO unless the board is like 7 deuce deuce or ace high. So 3 betting here would be just a suicide. Now I think it's time to start the last orbits. And let's see what the results were or are. And do we have anything interesting going on? Well, we have a hand on table 3 that we're going to play. And table 2-0, Fandrin open, so we're just folding. And we've got a 3-bet from Why Are You Crying, Behemoth flat, so easy call. Let's make a 3-way and see if we hit. And we kind of hit. We hit the inside wrap with 8 outs, and we are deep. If he checks, I'm going to bet. But well, I'm going to call once and let's see. Well, that helps a bit. It's just when he bets 3/4 on the flop, it's compared to his previous c-betting. Oh, he didn't have anything, so probably raising on the flop, the outcome would have been the same. And on table 4 we fold. And table 2 it's 5-handed, but we have 2 reckoners behind us. So playing this jack high flush draw is quite painish. I'm going to open. The 7 is a bit of a dangler. Of course, if the flop is a 9, then we have a 6 as an out, so it's not totally useless. But everyone folds, which is nice, and we see out. And on table 4 we're going to sit out, so let's see what the results are. And we actually did make profit. And here is the graph. Let's sit out on here. So in the end, 42.67 in profit, and we are running $14 over EV, which is nice. But profitable session, despite of having some setups in the wrong way, we had some setups in the right way, and kind of great value for the hands. So pretty nice session. There were some tougher spots, but overall we got really nice hands most of the time. But that's for this Friday. Now I have to end. Have to go and prepare myself for tomorrow's big game. And on the next Friday, it's going to be a Finnish PLO night, and the next time we will have English evening is going to be 26th of this month. So I will see some of you then, and some of you on the next Friday. Now, let's watch the new cat video, and then it's time to say bye-bye.